Hello, Wayne Roach, here to read to you a good chapter of the Bible. Today we're going to read 3 of Judges, you know. I sing in a band rock and roll, the Strawberry Jam is what it's called. And today we're reading 3 Judges. Now these is the nations that the Lord left to test all those in Israel who had no experience of any war in Canaan. It was only that successive generations of Israelites might know war to teach those who had no experience of it before. You see, the 5 lords are the Philistines, and all the Canaanites and the Sidonians and the Hivites who lived in Mount Lebanon from Mount Baal Hermon as far as Lebo Hamath. They was for the testing of Israel, to know whether Israel would obey the commandments of the Lord which he commanded their ancestors by Moses. So the Israelites lived among Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and they took their daughters as wives for themselves, and their own daughters they gave to their sons, and they worshipped their gods. The Israelites did what the Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, forgetting the Lord their God, and worshipping the Baals and the Asherahs. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of King Cushan-Rishathaim of Aram Naharaim, and the Israelites served Cushan-Rishathaim for 8 years. But when the Israelites cried out to the Lord raised up a deliverer for the Israelites who delivered them, Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel. He went out to war, and the Lord gave King Cushan-Rishathaim of Aram into his hand, and his hand prevailed over Cushan-Rishathaim. So the land had rest for 40 years. The Othniel, son of Kenaz, died. The Israelites again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened King Eglon of Moab against Israel, because they had done what was evil in the sight of the Lord. In alliance with the Ammonites and the Amalekites, he went and defeated Israel, and they took possession of the city of Palms. So the Israelites served King Eglon of Moab for 18 years. But when the Israelites cried out to the Lord raised up for them a deliverer, Ithahad, son of Gera, the Benjaminite, a left-handed man. The Israelites sent tribute by him to King Eglon of Moab. Ehud made for himself a sword with 2 edges, a cubit in length, and he fastened it on his right thigh under his clothes. Then he presented the tribute to King Eglon of Moab. Now Eglon was a very fat man. When Ehud had finished presenting the tribute, he sent the people who carried the tribute on the way. But he himself turned back at the sculpted stones near Gilgal and said, "I have a secret message for you, O king." So the king had said, "Silence," and all his attendants went out from his presence. Ehud came to him while he was sitting alone in his cool roof chamber and said, "I have a message from God for you." So he rose from his seat. Then Ehud reached with his left hand, took the sword from his right thigh, and thrust it in Eglon's belly. The hilt also went in after the blade, and the fat closed over the blade, for he did not draw the sword out of his belly, and the dirt came out. Then Ehud went into the vestibule and closed the door and roof chamber on him and locked them. Cloudies. After he had gone, the servants came when they saw that the doors of the roof chamber was locked, and they thought, "He must be relieving himself in the cool chamber." So they waited until they was embarrassed. When they still did not open the door of the roof chamber, they took the key and opened them. There was their Lord lying dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while they delayed and passed beyond the sculptured stones and escaped in Seirah. When he arrived, he sounded the trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went down with him from the hill country. Having met their head, he said to them, "Follow me, for the Lord has given your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand." So they went down after him and seized the fords of the Jordan across the Moabites, and allowed no one to cross over. At that time they killed about 10,000 of the Moabites, all strong, able-bodied men. No one escaped, so Moab was subdued till that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest for 80 years. After he came Shamgar, son of Anath, who killed 600 of the Philistines and an ox goat. He too delivered Israel. That is the end of 3 of Judges. My name is Wayne Roach. Good night and God bless.